everyone. Jack. Yes, a little bit early. I woke up like a little after 7 this morning and I did some research and stuff that I wanted to do. And then eventually, after watching some news and all that, decided to maybe get up and do stuff. So here I am. And how are you? And Kazi Tuta says, good evening, sir. Kazi, you are where? In India, are you? Where are you? This is 11:19 here. So is it like 12:30 or 1 o'clock there? If it's India, if it's UK, maybe you're in UK. Kazi says him is gone to a grocery store. I did go yesterday. Is it a big delay between I talk and you guys receive it? Because it looked like after I sat down, a minute after, I could see myself on the screen. So there must be a delay, yeah? So you're in Europe, Cassie. Where? Remember, guys, the protocol, age, gender. Where are you tuning in from? Ah, Serbia. Yeah, guys, don't forget that little three little information bits. Gender, age, and where you tuning in from. So let me put this computer away. And let me say hello to everyone here in writing. How about that? Hello, Stephen. Male 40 Los Angeles. Thank you for that. And we have Tuta says male 31. Oh, yeah. These days it's email, no more mail. Email 31. Hello, Yasin. Yes, Stephen, I'm early today because I was just telling Tuta, I just somehow got up early. I seven something, and then I did some stuff that I needed to do and some news stuff, some research stuff, and that's it. I'm ready. Hello, Dudley. How are you, dear? How many of you have been following the new series that I've started now? We are on number 15 or 16, I think. I haven't uploaded the 16 on the intrusive thoughts, transient thoughts, OCD, HOCD, negative thoughts. How many of you have been watching them, and have you watched them all? Yasin says, my mother watch with me. Wonderful. Don't forget, Yasin, let me know where you are, gender, age, and where you're tuning in from. Everyone, please. That's just part of our culture now in this little community of ours. Gender, age, and where you're tuning in from. And so I guess you guys are probably having a mandatory long hair as well, just like I do. I, I can't go to any hairstylist or barber. Everywhere is closed, I guess. So, or we don't dare going. So it's just soon enough I gotta have, I guess, ponytail. Dudley, 22, male, Alabama. Okay. I have been to Alabama once. It was a seminar for a few days. Long time ago, we were talking about, I don't know, over 30 years ago. Yasin says, I'm from Algeria. I'm 20 years old. Ah, good. Matthew, 22, male, Florida. Thank you for that. But Matthew, it looks like it's the first time you're here, no? You know the protocol well. That means you've been here before, but somehow I can't remember the screen name. Matthew, maybe, but Ginazu, Guinazu, I don't remember that. Is it your first time here? Looks like there's such a delay. Maybe there's something here I should do to put the delay off, but so I can see I'm still talking while when I stop talking, my screen is still talking. See, look, I stop talking now, and I tell you when it starts talking over there. There. That much of a delay. Surya Pratap. Hello, Surya. And Matthew is new. Ah, welcome then. So I was right. How did you know the protocol? Thank you for that. Surya, you're also first timer here, right? Welcome. First of all, if you guys are anybody a first time here, welcome. But please do favor me with a little abbreviation information, like 3 things: gender, age, and where you're tuning in from. Like Stephen said, male, 40, Los Angeles. Just 3 little things, so I would know. And Dudley says 22, male, Alabama. Matthew says 22, male, Florida. Yasin says, what is your religion? Why do you want to know? What difference does that make? I don't run my life by religion. But what is consciously right or wrong for benefit of humanity, myself, my family, other people, the society, is what governs my behavior and thinking. Otherwise, that simply puts us in different categories, which we human beings have enough things out of ignorance to be different from each other or think we are different, rather than focusing on commonalities. So I think all religions, if they're used for the benefit of mankind and empowerment of the personal reasons, is good. And if they're misused, then all bad. Depends on how you use it to the advantage of all of us on this earth, on this journey of life, to grow and develop. It shouldn't be the cause of separation, segregation, or make us feel inferior or superior from each other. Instead, if we follow every religion's that I know of recommendations, we're supposed to be closer to each other, because most religions talk about bringing the best in you and cooperation, compassion, and all that. But unfortunately, most people who believe in certain religion, they think that selection would set them apart from others, instead of that selection would make a person who would be closer to the others regardless of their religion. So we got to be careful about religion. It's good if it's used correctly and followed its positive recommendations and encouragements, rather than, if any religion has anything against the other religions, well, that's a problem. Religion is supposed to be showing us a pathway to betterment, to be closer to whatever you believe to be the creator, which means to be closer to everyone else, because really there is one source. If you want to call something creator, some people call it nature, some people call it God, some people call it universe, energy. Whatever it is, we're supposed to be rising toward it to better ourselves, which means become a better person in all aspects, including treating each other, compassionate, kindness, respect, and all that. So that's why I usually don't answer that question, because I don't run my life by religion. I believe in universe, in nature and energy and all the good things. Kazu says, sir, I lost everything almost. Really? Really? And who's talking to me then now? Who is this who's talking to me? Because you are the everything. If there is no you, there is nothing else around you that could ever matter. It's because of you that everything else seems to be valuable. It is your attention and your desire that gives value to other things. Other things are there, but if you don't desire them, if you're not there to look at them, if you're not there to want them, they have no value to you. So when you say, I lost everything, you haven't lost the main thing, which is you, which is the originator, the source of everything else being valuable. So be careful in how you address yourself. It says jobs, friends, family. I was years out of my country. When I back after 10 years, everything is gone and different. I don't know what now for who. What do you mean? So what were you doing for that 10 years? You probably established some friends over there, wherever you were. And in 10 years, you must have had some job. So the job was there. You left that country. So now you got to look for one here, wherever it is that you are now. Tuta, Serbia, is it? You said Serbia. And so I'm not sure if you're correct in your assumption that you've lost everything. And I don't know enough to know about what you mean by job. You were away 10 years anyhow. So how could you have lost a job in this country? Maybe in the country that you were living. Friends, well, obviously 10 years later, you come back to your own country or wherever you had left it. You won't have those friends that have gone, moved on, and busy with their lives. Make new ones. That's one thing we have good numbers of in this world, 7 billion of us. Make new friends. You're a different person right now, anyhow. So those friends, even if they were around, you may not have been compatible with them anymore because everybody changes. We are changing. Our consciousness is changing through our lives. And so, make new friends. Family, when you say family gone, how could they be gone? Are they, have they left us, or what? They're busy with their lives? If they have left us, well, there is no we have no control on that. That's unfortunate, but we have no control on that. So you can't feel guilty about anything like that. And if they're busy, well, and if they're busy, then that means they're not really where you should focus your time. Steven says, I got sidetracked, was doing well. Ex contacted me again, but I feel she does it to keep me around, want attention, and knows I will answer. I wake up thinking about good memories and my mind tricks. Well, a good thing is that you know your mind is tricking you, because that's what the mind does. Keeps popping up with which has no responsibility in that popping up. Just gives you ideas. One day it could say, get back with your ex, which you already know you guys are not compatible and you had lots of problems with each other and broke up finally, and that was why you guys broke up, because things were not working. But now that thought comes in and says, oh no, you got to get back, because only wants you to focus on pleasure. So it's really, is it your aware thinking, or is it a thought showing up based on your desire? So is it your thought, or is it desire's thought? Is it your thought, or is it ego's thought? Is it your thought is just a nonsense thought, just because it's there? Thoughts, all kind of thoughts could show up on your screen because those thoughts are available in the consciousness in the form of memory or form of some kind of information that has found its way to your consciousness, because it exists in the world and we are aware of things that exist in the world. So pop-up randomly could come up. And if you have OCD, then the pop-up stays there and you can't get rid of it, because it could be actually a negative thought. Now, this is not a thought to be scared about, but people get all kinds of weird thoughts, which I know every single one of you and every single one person in the world gets intrusive thoughts, violent thoughts, weird thoughts, sexual thoughts, sexual opposite of your own gender thoughts. So, and then it stays there. So that's a possibility always. So that's nothing new there. You should know about that right now. And Steven says, me into wanting her back. She's not even what I want in a girl. I get stuck again in the past, and it's, yeah, you keep going around with this, and the more you entertain it, the more it becomes hardwired as something that you think you want, but you don't. So don't be bamboozled by it. Sagota says, male 31, India. Hello there. Been waiting for you to share something. I did. Steven says, thank you, Mehran. You're welcome. So we only have 10 people here. You guys been moaning and saying that, oh, I'm usually late. Why not earlier? Here I am early. Who's here? No, really, honestly. The noise is the street noise, Segota. The noise of life. These days, when we hear noise, is good. That means there's still life out there. All right, guys. Where are the questions? I don't see any. So, is anybody going to answer me if you guys have seen the new series of intrusive thoughts, transient thoughts, OCD, HOCD, negative thoughts? Have you guys been watching it? There's 16 of them now. At least 15 is uploaded. If you go to that playlist, intrusive, transient, OCD, HOCD, negative thoughts, then you will see all of that. It's very informative. Tells you a lot about your psyche, your thoughts, the structure of thoughts, how they work, where they come from, and all that. Sagota says, Steven says, I haven't. Why not? Don't you guys get any notifications of new uploads? If you haven't, just click on the bell so you get the uploads notifications. Ronnie, you're here. You've been absent for God knows how long. Yeah, do watch them. There are like 15 of them. And number 1, of course, is the beginning. Then 6, 7, and 8. And then 11. 11 is very interesting. 8 is very interesting. 7 is very interesting. 6 is very interesting. And I'm not biased. But they're all interesting. And I have watched them over a few times myself. And the one that I uploaded yesterday is very interesting. Number 15. Number 15. Yeah, Ronnie, I hope everything is good for you. Cathy Green says, how to stop thinking about someone that doesn't deserve your energy due to them cheating. I no longer want him back, nor love him, but can't stop thinking of him or the situation daily. It's draining. Help. Well, Cathy, number 1 is I need to know where you're tuning in from, how old you are, and what gender you have, because people's screen names doesn't necessarily means if they are female, male, or whatever their gender is. That's number 1. Number 2, I need a lot more information than that, because I got to know why is it that you are thinking of him, like what part it is. Is it the good memories? Is it certain things? Is it intimacy? What kind of lifestyle you have right now? What your mechanical processes are? What it used to be? What is your order today? All these are unknown to me, so I won't be able to make the proper respond to that good question. But you can always go to my site, mindthatseekstruth.com, click on Skype conversation with me, make an appointment for an hour, and I'll throw in another hour for you, so we'll have 2 hours for the price of one. And we can hash it out and go through it one-on-one in detail. Otherwise, how you can stop, in short, how you can stop thinking about that person is every time that for any reason you think of that person, bring the emotional file and the memory files of the things that went wrong and were wrong in that relationship. Quickly bring those to your attention, and then you will remember the actuality of that person, which is when you guys broke up. Actuality of him now, not how things used to be. Because that is a memory, which usually memory has the gravitations towards the good stuff, which will make you feel good. But there are none of them alive, because memory is the past and the past is dead. So what you need to do is to, as soon as you go in there for whatever reason, because as I mentioned before, at the moment, the order of your life that included him is broken. And the order has been made by certain mechanical processes, certain things that you guys used to do in daily life, individually and together. And all of that is no longer. Therefore, the order, which is based on mechanical processes, is broken. So what you're really missing right now, what you're really thinking, is not necessarily him that you're missing, is the fact that the order is missing. And you're going into the memory, because in the memory, all that order that you used to be running your life by, which your mind finds security in, is in the memory. That's why you keep going in there to seek security for your mind. But of course, you have to then, in the memory, interact with him, which makes you feel, oh, it was all these good things and so on. So you're indirectly actually thinking of him. What you're really going into the memory where he is to find order for your mind to settle. Because mind is not like the other parts of the body, which they are physical, hands, fingers, eyes, ears, and legs. You know where they are. Because you know where they are, they're on your body, you feel safe with them. You can bring safety to them easily. You go cozy up somewhere, or you go somewhere safe, or you're at your home. That's the security. But the mind doesn't have a physical shape or physical place for it to reside until you teach it where it should also be focused. So it will be mind and body coordination and coordinated, which you can find that, of course, in my book, Me, My Psyche, and I, which also you can get it on the same site address that I gave you, mindthatseekstruth.com. Click on the book and click on Me, My Psyche, and I. Read the sample chapter or the table of contents, and then get the ebook of it. It's very inexpensive, $8-9, but 360 pages, lots of great information about your psyche and everything else that pretty much you want to know, including meditation, mind needs a home, and so on and so forth. But until you train the mind in that way, the mind naturally goes into finding its security in an order. So when people break up, the order of their life breaks up, which is the home where the mind hangs his hat, and it loses that. Then you become agitated, insecure, and you keep going to the memory, because that's where the things are, the memory is, and in the memory there's an order, and the mind finds security in that order. In the meantime, you keep thinking, you don't know why you're in there, you think you're missing the person. So whenever you think of that person, quickly bring about the file that tells you why things were not going well, and start new mechanical processes, which I know it's not that easy these days because coronavirus and everybody is locked down and so on, and not much of an activity. But when the opportunity arises, you create new things that you do in your single life at this time. Through those mechanical processes, you will create a new order. And in that order, your mind finds security, and you will settle down. You won't be missing him as you think you do now. All right. Now, anything further, you're most welcome. Go on my site and click on that appointment book thingy. It tells you all my availabilities immediately. And then if you click on the Skype button, it shows you the calendar of available times. If you click on Talk to Mehran via Skype, then it doesn't show you what's available now. It will be like maybe a day or two after that we can simply make the arrangement on Skype to when to have that appointment. Ronnie says, we're all watching from Tennessee. Oh, good. Sagota says, told me sorry to call you back. What? Who told you? I told you? Oh. I must have missed something. She called me on last day suddenly after 7 months from an unknown number and told me sorry to call you back, but I'm calling you for some reason. I asked what? She told me that if my close friends or anyone calls you and asks you about me and you don't say anything. Just say that we were just friends. What the nonsense is that? I was shocked and got angry and said, you just called me to tell me this? I think there's some problem arise with her new boyfriend, and she's worried if he calls me and asks anything. And we were in 6 years relationship, and she cheated. Now she's worried. No, first of all, if somebody calls you, and Sagota says, I asked the reason, but she denied to reply. I told her you shouldn't have called me like this suddenly. She said she didn't want to, but for this reason she called. Well, you can simply, if that boyfriend calls, you just say, I'm sorry, any relationship or friendship that I may have had with anyone, it's my business and her business. So I'm not going to be giving you any information that you can simply ask her. Whatever she says, that's correct. So don't continue. You're a gentleman afterwards. It's not about being upset that she says, don't say that we were together. That's, of course, stupid. Obviously, she was not the right girl for you, because if a girl cannot appreciate the 6-year relationship she had with you, she's got no business to be in your life, and you have no business to ever miss her at all. She's disqualified. But in general, as a gentleman, when you're with a woman in any kind of relationship, doesn't matter what, if somebody asks you and you guys are no longer together, if you're together, well, you say, I'm my girlfriend, or she says, you're her boyfriend. But if you guys no longer together, somebody asks you, says, well, why don't you ask her? This is a business with, for her to say, and I'm not here to talk about a lady's private life. That's it. Kevin says, no, we have a super chat. We got to attend to that. That's the customary. And Jeremy, $20 helping the channel. Thank you very much, Jeremy. Very generous of you. And Jeremy says, thank you for doing amazing work, Mehran. Sending love your way. Thank you very much. Well, sending love through money, it's very lovely. It's a double love. Love accepted, and thank you very much. Appreciate it. And so let's see if Jeremy has any questions or no. Jeremy's from Portland, which is my U.S. hometown in a way, at least when I went to college. And now my hometown is Hawaii. But Portland is a beautiful place. I haven't seen it for so long, and I don't know what changes it's gone through. Anyhow, If you ever pass by Lake Oswego, Lewis and Clark, that's where I went to school. Jeremy knows that, I guess. Kevin says, "Hi, Mehran, 46-year-old male here from North Carolina. A couple of years ago, your YouTube video greatly helped me get over the worst breakup of my life. I can't thank you enough." Well, thank you very much, Kevin, for sharing that. I do remember this name. Did you ever talk to me or commented and I comment back or anything? But I do remember this name. Jeremy says, "Love from heart and from ego." Okay. I accepted both, appreciated both. And you've been absent for a while, Jeremy. Hope all is well with you. So now we have 11 people. People, don't forget, we have 11 people, we have 6 like. Why? Why is it that we are not liked as many as we have here? 11 people, 6 like. That means what? 5 don't like. Don't tell me you have clicked on don't like. Now, let's see. You know, I thought we'll have thousands of people here since I'm a few hours, 4 or 5 hours early. But looks like I was wrong. And Yao says, "Hey, Mehran." Hello, Yao. "It's been a month till I broke up with my girlfriend. I feel better watching your videos. I'm a 23-year-old male. And where from, Yao? Where are you located? You gave me 2 out of 3 of the protocol." Ronnie says, "I agree with Kevin. I was at the end and Mehran has completely cleaned or changed my perspective on things with all or any relationships." Good. Delighted to hear that. Ronnie, thank you for sharing that. And thank you for you as well. Kevin. Yao says, "It's 4 a.m. in Seoul at the moment. What are you doing up so late?" Not that we mind it. Welcome. Stay here. Don't go anywhere. But, oh, come on. You're in Korea. Who cares that she broke up with you? There's so many beautiful girls in Korea. It's just amazing numbers. So just relax. Relax. Just do your things. Be patient. You're just 23 years old. There'll be so many girls on your way that you wouldn't know what to do. So just build your life. Focus on your plans. If you're studying, continue. If you're working, focus on your job. Learn things you want to learn. Endow yourself with knowledge. And have goals and persevere. Accomplish tasks. From the accomplishments, you feel confident. That confidence will exude outwardly, extends outwardly, and it is the best lure. You will find many interested in your confidence because it's all about the energy that people are attracted to each other, and then your energy coming from your confidence will make them feel good, feel safe, and there'll be an opportunity for you to get to know them, and then you'll see. So at this point, just don't worry about this. This is like warm-up games at this age. You get to know them, you break up, and then you learn from it, and the next one, and the next one, until you know yourself better, and then you will be able to know what really you're looking for, what kind of girl, what characteristics. And the older you get, the better you will know. So until you're 28, 30 years old, just don't take it too seriously. Be the best man that you can be, the best version of yourself, and always build your life and so on. But if it breaks down, expect that. It's all right. It's all right. When you're 28, 30 years old, then you will find someone that you are more clear on what qualifications you expect, and you will have a lot more to offer at the time as well. So the quality of the girls that you will meet and would be a good candidate for you would change both from your side and from their perspective. Kathy says, I loved your video where it discusses the Pebble example. Yeah, the Pebble example, the Pebble one has done well, although I would have expected that to have maybe, I don't know, a few million. But knowing the fact that we are unknown, and I really, for the life of me, I can't tell why with all these good videos that we have. And I mean that. I'm not being boasting it. I've looked what other things are available, and I've heard from thousands of my subscribers and commented on the videos that how different this channel and contents are from all other channels that are available for this similar type of discussions. But yet we are still unknown. We only have not even 20,000 subscribers after so many years. Either something wrong I'm doing, or it's just somehow things are not working out. But we have helped over 2 million people, and we have had thousands and thousands, and really thousands of comments, all positive. I have answered personally all of them. Maybe a couple fell through the crack and I didn't see them. And hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of emails. I've answered them all with long discussions, help people around the world. For the first 2-3 years, all my Skype consultations for people around the world were free. Now we have a little bit of an organization, a proper site, and all that so forth. However, we're still unknown, and that Pebble has done over what? I don't know, 350,000, but we don't have 350,000 subscribers. That means not everybody who watched it clicked unsubscribe. Maybe people simply don't want to be known that they belong to a channel that talks about breakups, which is too bad. That doesn't let me grow. I know there was this channel started last year around this time. I had about, I don't know, 15,000 subscribers, and she had like 11,000 subscribers. She had just started. But now she has over 200,000 subscribers. Mind you, her channel is a news channel, and she's beautiful. I can't compete with that. And and she does a great job in her work. She's diligent, and research is good and brings good quality of contents. However, it is only 1 year. And I've been around for a longer time, but of course I never really knew, and I never knew what my son was telling me I should be doing. I didn't know how to do it. But nevertheless, we've been having like over 460, 80 live streamings. We've talked about 20 or 30 questions in each one of them. So that's about what, 20,000 topics. We have over 1,600 videos. That's 22,000 questions and topics and discussions on this channel, available 24/7. So if people are really looking for answers and to get to know themselves and their psyche better and deal with their breakups and mental challenges better, well, we have it here. Now the question is, why are we not seeing all these subscribers? If anybody knows the answer, can help us, please do. If you know contacts in, I don't know, radio, television, papers, school radio stations, universities, or their, I don't know, papers, introduce us and help us to get on the map so we can reach more people, help more people, and also grow. So I can spend more time, maybe when this corona thingy goes away, if you have enough finances to put weekend workshops, I can share a lot more than I can do here, because there's so much more that I would like to share, but it needs a personal presence. So anyhow, on that note, now we have another generous supporter of the channel, Ronnie. Ronnie has helped the channel with $35. That's very kind and generous of you. Thank you, Ronnie. And thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, Ronnie. Both of you. I appreciate that. And he just says, thank you so much. You're quite welcome, Ronnie. So let's see who has a question here now. Yao says, thank you, Mehran. Couldn't resist watching your video. Mutshakkiram. Oh, how do you speak Farsi? That's pretty real. Are you Persian or are you Korean? Either way, thanks for being here and thanks for the kind word. Sagota says, by the way, Kathy, I hope that you got the answer you were looking for. Says, I thought it was, the pebble. She says, she continues, I loved your video where it discusses the pebble example. I thought it was an amazing way to think of a breakup and someone. Yeah, I think it turned out pretty good. It was pretty much spare the moment, that video. I remember just something I thought and I said, pretty much right on the spot, or I knew what I wanted to say, but I unfortunately didn't, or maybe fortunately, I don't prepare too much when I want to say something. It's mostly off the cuff. Just off the cuff. Just recently I've learned to edit because I talk a lot sometimes, and I go from one end to the other end without interruption. But when the discussion becomes a little bit more involved, then I've learned how to edit it, so cut as much I can out of it. And Kathy says, I think the difference between your channel and others is yours is based on the individual and the blunt version of reality everyone needs to hear. Others are about getting exes back. Yours is reality. And thank you very much for Kathy. That is exactly true. Most people like to have that tranquilizer to go through life rather than the revitalizer, which is based on truth. They don't want the truth pill. They just want, they don't want the red pill. They want the blue pill. If we talk in Matrix, they just want to be in sleep and just have things, not challenging. But we grow in the challenge. And if we lose that opportunity when the challenge knocks on the door, as bitter as it might be, but it's a encourager, a catapult to rise us above where we ever thought we could rise. But if we take that opportunity, take the bull by the horn and research it, and learn it, become stronger, wiser, more educated, more knowledgeable, research it, and don't give in to what thought suggests to you, to what your memories try to bamboozle you after a breakup. So that way you will have a stronger and healthier life. In the meantime, you would have an opportunity to get to know a lot more about yourself, which is where the power is, to know about this. We spend so much time to learning about everything else out there, and we think that is what brings us the level of our strength and our abilities to deal and negotiate with day-to-day life. It's not. It's knowing about the inside, not the outside. There's some stuff we got to know from outside. That's given. But if we don't know how this works, this can be the best friend and the worst enemy. If we do not understand this machine here, we can be really in trouble. So, this is what this channel does. Tries to bring that kind of information to people so they can become the mechanic of their own machine, rather than having to go to psychologists or someone here and there to tell them how they should feel, while they could understand the mechanics of how this works based on their thoughts and consciousness, fear, desire, and ego, mechanical process, order in life. And if they understand these components and fragments of the psyche, then you can figure out what they're up to, what they're doing, when they're malfunctioning, when something is wrong with them, and you will know them as much, at least as much as you would know about your biology. Well, everything that happens to our biology, we believe it and we go and find and seek remedy for it. If you have a diarrhea, you go and figure out, get a pill and understand that this is a diarrhea. This is not normal. This is not me. Shouldn't be happening. So you recognize when something goes wrong with your body. If you have a headache, you understand it's a headache. You got a muscle ache after the gym or you heard it somewhere, you recognize it. If it's an internal problem, you have nausea or something, you do something about it. But when it comes to mind, and a thought shows up, gives you all kinds of nonsense, distracts you, you think just because a thought showed up in the screen of your home, your head, then it has credibility. It must be you. It probably knows more than you about you, than you. Thought becomes you, and you start following the thought where it is you who's the master. There was a you, the me, before thought showed up. The me, this animal, was here thousands of years before thought was ever became a capability and a component, a tool in us. We were living as an animal. Everything was clear, based on instinct, based on every clarity of what we were, what we wanted to sleep, to eat, to hunt, to procreate, what our sexuality was. Everything was clear because there was no thought. It was all hardwired. But when thought came to the picture, then the whole problem started because we stopped understanding the truth that we are not thoughts. We started thinking that thought is us rather than thought is a tool at our service and we are the ultimate boss to decide which thought we should follow or entertain and which thought we should ignore. There are certain thoughts that we think of it because we want to solve something, figure out something, calculate something, design something, produce something, accomplish something, learn something. That's our thought. We initiate that from our consciousness. We instigate that. But there are all kinds of other thoughts that they pop up. Intrusive thoughts, transient thoughts. We had nothing to do with it. Uninvited thoughts about everything. Intrusive thoughts. Makes us feel like you're a pedophile or you want to murder someone or your sexuality is about to change. Whatever it is. The heterosexuals may think, oh, they're going to become gay. They're bi. They've been living in denial. All that comes and pops up in their heads, and they forget that this is a tool, not them. They're not the thought. Thought is not them. They're not their brain. The brain is not them. But they start believing that they should be following the suggestion that pops up in their head instead of understanding and remembering that the me, they are the boss. And thought is just a malfunction when it comes up in these sort of segments that it's opposite of who you are, who you've always been, what your interests are, and the suggestion is opposite of your gender, your sexuality, and what your life has been. And then you follow actually the thought instead of saying the thought should follow my inner wisdom, insight, the gatekeeper in me, my super consciousness, my core values, my lifestyle is known to me by me, not by thought. Well, when thought shows up, you get bamboozled. You think thought is you. You follow your thoughts. These are the problems that we try to deal with on this channel so people will get to know about themselves so they will have a stronger life without distractions and nonsense that would give them hardship and makes them feel that they don't have that security that they always had. That's because we are work in progress. We malfunction. Every electrical system malfunctions. We are electrical system up here. All neurons. And these thoughts come out of nowhere. And it's proven by scientists and doctors and psychotherapists and psychologists and researchers. And I've got links on all these videos that I make about these topics of all these scientists. You watch them and you conclude what you will learn from them. Learn about your psyche and then live your life with ease and comfort and assurance. Anyhow, let's see who we have here now. And Sagota says, I asked her if her parents are okay. She said everything is good. I told I trust you and commitment to you, and in the last moment you left. She said that she will pay me back the money I spent on her. I said, I don't want anything. You should have. You should have said, no, okay, give it. Because probably she's just saying that. Just don't call me ever again. Okay. That's another way. All her words and promised were all fake. Well, good for you that you found that out now instead of finding it out after you married her. But, you know, Sagota, what's your age? I lost it here. If everyone, when you write a question, if you just mention that protocol, I'd be grateful. It would be easier because sometimes I want to refer back to it and I don't know. So I don't know what age you are, Sagota. I forgot. I can't see it here. Or maybe you never did say it, did you? Yeah, 31. All right. I don't know how old she was. Anyhow, you're lucky that this you get to know this now. Okay, so where were we? Mm-hmm. All right. And she said me belated happy birthday. I said, you still remember that? Don't get into that. You still remember, like you're fishing for what? 6 years and she doesn't remember your birthday? Like, is it surprising? Like she's doing you a favor? Oh, she remembers my birthday. Why do you have to be like that? Just say thank you. If you guys broke up, you broke up. That's it. Now she's softening you up to do what she wants you to do. And a happy belated birthday. She could have done that before calling you to tell you what she wants. Last birthday, you promised to be with me in all my upcoming birthdays and told me not to worry. Now what? Don't be bothered with that. It's water under the bridge. All right. Arjun says, hi Mehran. Arjun, India 26 male. How are you? Here in Kerala, time is 12:34 midnight. Yeah, I'm a little bit early, so people from India and Iran and Middle Eastern area can also join us if they ever get the notifications. Kathy says, I think the difference between your channel and others is you're based on the... Oh, yeah, we saw that one. I guess I missed the other ones. Ronnie says, I agree 100% with Kathy. Thank you for that. And John Anesi says, hey, Mehran, hope everything is going good with your mom. Thank you very much. Actually, yes, mom is fine. They did the test at the hospital, and a day later they said no, she does not have coronavirus, and the reason she was feeling the way she was feeling was because her insulin had gone. I think it was too much, so therefore her sugar level had gone way low, and so I'm delighted for that. She come home. She came home 2 days ago, day before yesterday. Thank you for asking that, John. And John says, I'm still getting mixed signals from my ex, still confused, but going to try and enjoy the strawberry, I guess. Yes, good for you. Arjan says, Hi Mehran, how to overcome all fears in life. Oh, okay. It's not about how to overcome all fears and figure out which fear. So it's more about understanding fear. When you understand fear, then all fear is going to be the same depending on if they are in the same category or not. In other words, we're not talking about fears that are about a truck about to run you over or a wild animal is about to attack you. It's a psychological fear. Most fears that bother us is psychological fear. So we got to understand how fear comes to be. And when the fear wants to arise, it is actually when you compare what it was to what it is and to what it could be, is when time is created, and in it fear at the same time. Because when you think about, like last night I had a stomach ache, and even if you don't know what time is, like it's like 1,000 years ago, there's still time, they don't know much, but you feel at certain past you had a stomach ache, or you have stomach ache last night, which was the now. And then now time has passed, let's say sun has come up, and you don't have a pain in your tummy. So you compare, I had pain whenever the time was registered with you, however it was registered with you, like when it was dark, I had pain. When it's light, which is daytime, I don't have pain. But then you wonder, when it gets dark tonight, will I have pain again? Now you created anxiety. Now you created pain. And at the same time, you created time. Then, now, future. So when you compare what it was to what it is or what it could be, then you create fear. And that is mostly about all fears, psychological fears. Now, when you observe fear as it's arising, as it's blooming, you stay with the fear. Whatever that makes you be anxious or fearful, stay with it and see that it is you that actually is creating the fear. So you are the fear. And if you are the fear, you don't need to be afraid. And as long as there is a fear and anxiety, the other way of looking at it, that means there is no danger. Because if there is a danger, you're busy dealing with the fear, with the event. And when you're busy dealing with an event, there is no fear. You know that you're never afraid when you're actually doing something. Like, let's say you're afraid of a fight. As long as it hasn't happened, you're afraid. But once the first punch or first, altercation, the action starts, you're not fearful. You're dealing with it. There's no fear there anymore. You're engaged in whatever it is the challenge you're trying to deal with. So whenever you have anxiety or whenever you have fear, you can be damn sure that everything is safe because nothing has happened. That's why it's your alarm system that is gone off to get you alerted to fend off something, to be prepared for something so it wouldn't trouble you. But nothing has gone wrong. So basically that's what it is, but you take it wrong. You think that that's I have to be shivering. No, it just means nothing is wrong. It's just be alert about something. So everything will be heightened. You become smarter. You become aware of something. Then you will decide and figure out what you need to do. That's pretty much what fear is. But when you be with the fear as you can see it is happening, then you can see it is based on your observing what is happening. Then you will start losing the fear because you become aware of its arrival. There's no surprises. You can see from where it's starting, and you come with it, and then you realize that it is you who actually is creating the fear. There's no fear from out there. You are the fear, and when you are the fear, then you simply become confident that nothing can harm you, because it is you who actually is creating the fear in your mind by considering it as something dangerous. While you are in total control, you can make choices, and therefore the danger doesn't have to be there. But most cases, you're following thoughts rather than following you, and then you think you're not in control. But if you follow you, you will always know that you're in control. So therefore, you can decimate that fear. Maybe at one point we'll discuss this further. I just did a shortcut, I guess. So Arjun says, fear from losing someone we love. That is not something that you're in control of, because it's not an element that you can do anything about it if you don't have the remedy for it. Are you talking about life, or are you talking about relationship? Fear from failure, fear from things we couldn't achieve. You'll always achieve something else if you don't achieve this, so there's no fear there. Fear from failure. Failure, what's failure? If you don't attempt something, you will never know what attempting is. So that's a success, because you attempted something, which you learned something. From that failure, you learn what things not to do, or how to do different things, because that didn't get you where you want to go. So really, there is no failure. There's a success in failure in a certain way, because then you can modify it and then find a way. It's like saying, I went to find that address and it took me an hour because I went to a different street. That's a failure. It's not a failure because you went to that street. Therefore, you could go to the next street knowing that that street wouldn't get you to your destination. You had to go to that street in order to learn that's not the right one, to know the right one. Then you went a different direction, and then another street and another alley, and then from there to another one. Eventually you got to your destination. So every one of those places that you call failure were actually the reason for your success. But while you are going through this street and that street, you see them as failure. But later on, when you get to your destination, then you can see they were not failure. They were actually directions to your destination. You actually got where you wanted to go. So stop looking at the outcome of your efforts at the moment. Just make the best effort you can based on the information available to you. And then later on, you can decide if these efforts were failures or actually they were the reason for your success. Steven says, I'm definitely going to begin reading your books now. I was studying before and wanted to just focus on one thing. Jeffrey says, good, Stephen. Go for it. Jeffrey says, hi, Mehran. Hello, Jeffrey. How you doing? Jeffrey says, 32 Toronto. Oh, Jeff Mail. It says make. Jeff make 32 Toronto. Jeff Mail 32 Toronto. All right. And Jeffrey says, man, I would be rolling in dough of my ex if my ex had me back all the money I spend. I spent on your relationship, Lou. Okay. Jeffrey says, thinking of your mother and yourself and sending best wishes to you, Mehran. Thank you very much, Jeffrey. I appreciate that. Thank you for your kind words. Jeffrey says, how can one approach their fear of catastrophic events, i.e. nuclear war, pandemic, etc.? There's nothing you can do about it. Things that you're not in control, you cannot be responsible for. You cannot focus on the fear. Just focus on the efforts that you should be making at the times that something that you're not in control, and it's a result of other people's stupidity that you have to deal with. Always rely on the moment. At the moment, there is no such thing that you're talking about, or if there is, at the moment, you're okay. So we got to live moment by moment. In this very small moment, I'm okay. The next moment just came before I could decide if it's going to be okay or not. I'm okay. The next moment, I'm okay. Every moment is so small that there's no time to figure out if something bad's going to happen in it, because they're so continuous. So go moment by moment and you can see it's all good. But if you go leap to tomorrow, I don't know what tomorrow is. Maybe if there was not pandemic, I could get hit with a car. I don't know that. So I'm just going to open my eyes, do my best, wait for the light to turn green, and then I do what I got to do. So there is no sense of trying to let negative thoughts set my mood or my hopes, because negative thing cannot bring hope. So negative thoughts should not be considered as my guidance. So therefore, focus on what is apparent. What's apparent is now, the now. What has passed is past, is dead, doesn't exist. It doesn't matter if I focus on it, or I can't change it, I can't do anything about it. What hasn't arrived yet, which is tomorrow or the next day, whatnot, well, I don't know what's going to be in there. So it's, again, unknown, doesn't exist. So the only reality is now. So let me focus on this tea that I'm having, because that's the only reality right now. Whether I'm going to have tea tomorrow or not, I don't know. I will see it then. So I want to live in the moment, and every moment I'm going to be at the best I can do. And that's all you can expect from yourself. Isn't it? Nikki says, hello, Mehran. Hello, Nikki. Thanks for the flowers. Looks beautiful. Today we have no heart. We have beautiful flowers. Nikki says, hope all is well. Thank you for that, Nikki. Hope you're well as well. And Yao says, Khayli mamnoon Mehran. Oh, you speaking Farsi. Says, I'm from London of Caribbean, African descent. Are you? I'm teaching English at the moment in Korea. I love Iranian culture. I studied Farsi for a year. I would love an Iranian girlfriend. Why not? Of course, sure, why not? I don't know if you find Iranian girls in Korea that many, but I guess they're everywhere. So why not? All the best. And Arjun says, fear about losing someone we love in life, not in relationship. Hmm. Yeah, well, that camel will lay in front of everyone's house. That's a proverb I bring from my birth country language. I guess that was the expression that they had about, I don't know, camels. That when they sit, and you can't do anything about them. So that's something that's going to happen to everyone. This is not something that we can feel we can do anything about it. When I lost my dad, it was devastating, of course. But the funny thing is that you go through it. You go through the worst thing that can happen to you, which is losing a loved one, a family member, and you accept that eventually, and you go on. But when you lose some petty stuff like a relationship, you suddenly think the world, the life is over because somehow you have a hard time accepting that. How silly is that really? Someone who raised you and gave you everything you have and everything you are, and then departs eventually. And you come to terms with it because you see there's no choice. There is nothing you can do. It's gone. You accept that most devastating event, but you recognize it wasn't anything you could do, and it wasn't anything that you had anything or anybody could have anything to do with it. Natural death. But when it comes to relationships, suddenly, oh, I can't take it. She's everything to me, or depending on your gender, or he's everything to you. Why? You by saying that, you're actually saying your desire and ego is everything that you are, meaning you work for desire and ego, not that ego and desire are part of you. You are part of them. They dictate to you how to feel, how functional or dysfunctional you can be. It's no different than thinking thoughts is you and you follow thoughts, instead of you are the boss and thoughts are just simple tools for you, the ones that you use, not the ones that they pop up. They're just garbage. You got to know that, the difference. All right. Arjan says, yes, sir. I will keep working for my success. Great words from you. You are helping me from 2016. Thank you, sir. And how are you there in Canada? Safe from COVID? Hope your mother is well. Thank you very much for your kind words. And yeah, we are so far so good. Doing what we do, just like anybody else around the world. We go shopping once a week, keep social distancing, and wash our hands before we touch our faces, I guess. I go walking late at nights usually, and even on the sea walk now there's a sign. The ones who are going to the end of the sea walk from one side and the ones who are coming from another side. So there are now rules about everything, and masks and things are used when it's necessary. So everybody's dealing with that. So we have a super chat from Sagota, 400 rupees. Thank you very much, Sagota. Very kind of you, helping the channel. Sagota says, thank you for your wish on 16th. Oh, yeah, your birthday. I turned 31 thanks to your ugly stick. Yeah, okay. I feel much better and stronger now, not to fall back into the memories and that person. I feel a bit lonely sometimes. Well, we all do. That's all right. It's part of life. But facing the reality seems better. Yes, it does, because you then see life is where reality is. And a human being wants to live, wants to be active, wants to make efforts. And those efforts can only be made in the now, because that's where life is. In the now, in the effort. Effort is life. Memory is dead. Memory is past. Past is dead. There is no life there in the memory. It's only order, a limited, temporary, make-believe order. That's where you go for. And you think you're going because you missed the person. But no, really, you're going there for security and safety, psychological security. So if you be able to live your life every moment in the now, brings you focus, mindfulness, and gives you opportunity to turn your effort into something that you want to build as a foundation for your life. And we have and Jeffrey says, oops, sorry for the typo. Which typo? I forgot what it was. And Jeffrey says, excellent answer. Thanks, Mehran. You're quite welcome. I don't know what the answer was too far. Am I getting old, or am I just forgetting what I'm saying? Well, I don't know what I'm saying, maybe. Oh, yeah. Okay, I remember now. And Kevin says, I wanted to answer your earlier question. I don't believe we ever did any one-on-one session, but your videos were a central pillar of my support system. You gave me courage to keep moving forward. Delighted to hear that, Kevin. Thank you for sharing that. Kevin says, good words, things we can't change. I was laid off from a job earlier this month due to a COVID-19 workforce reduction. Since I can't control that event, I'm applying for a job and working on myself. Good for you. These are some of the times that perhaps we got to try to make the best of it the way we can, because we have no control over it. Everything is shut everywhere. So do whatever you can. Maybe learn something, educate yourself in some way, explore something, research something, and rest a little bit, meditate, do things that you can do, maybe a compulsory, somewhat of a vacation. Who knows? I mean, where you are, where you're living. And Arjun Siva says, Iranian girls are beautiful, sir. There's beautiful women everywhere, in every culture and every nationality. Women in general are just beautiful, that's all. And Aya says, what if you lose a parent because he cheats on your mom after 30 years marriage? That's none of your business. Do not concern yourself with that. That's between your mom and dad. He is not cheating because he hates you or he hates your mom. He's a human being, and whatever he's doing is between you and your mom. You continue loving your mom and loving your dad, respecting him. He's not doing anything shameful as far as you're concerned. Do not become the judge of your father. Do not become the judge of your mother. Be there, hear them both, but you don't need to judge them. They will do that on their own. That is their relationship in the venue that they have created. Your relationship with your mother and your father is different than their relationship. So don't butt in. I know it might sound tough to you, but you need to be wise right here. You have a role. Don't fan a flame. Don't try to bring your anger or your be on your side of your mother or your father. You don't know what's been going on between them. Maybe it's your dad's fault, maybe it's mom's fault, maybe it's nobody's fault, maybe it's both faults. It doesn't matter. You are supposed to be there for them, and you're not supposed to be siding with one and creating more fire based on hate or what's missing in your lives and holding someone responsible make you feel good. That should not be. If you really want to be objective, you just look at the situation, and you cannot understand where your father is coming from. He could be wrong all through and through. But who knows? And nobody says he's right. That's a wrong thing to do anyhow. But you don't know what's going on with them in their relationship or what's been happening. Generally, yes, that's a wrong thing to do when you're in a relationship and cheating on your partner, definitely. But what I'm trying to say is don't turn your back towards your dad because he's been with another woman. That has nothing to do with his love for you. And it shouldn't have anything to do with your love for him. That's between your mom and him. Let it be. Zadki says, 26 Sweden, Mehran. I asked a girl on a date yesterday and was rejected. Ah, good for you. Because that means what? Means you're one closer to the one who says yes. Because it's all numbers game. You say, you ask a girl out, either rejected or not rejected. If you're rejected, that means you're closer to the one who's not going to reject you. Because there are going to be so many rejections before you get to that one. So that's okay. And you learn something. Says, now I am obsessing about my ex all of a sudden. Yeah, because naturally you feel like that was an availability. That was a thing that was happening. That was a reality. I had that relationship. This one rejected me. You now suddenly you feel that your ex was even better than any one of them because this one rejected you. Who cares she rejected you? Who is she to reject you? She did. That's her prerogative. But that doesn't take anything away from you. You're still you. So keep your chin up. You know? What happens? If you're playing soccer and the other team scores, what are you going to do? You're going to leave the pitch? That's it? Finished? You give up? Put your head down and go out? They scored. Okay. You will do best and you'll score next half. Or you won't. The next game, maybe. Who cares? That's the game. Somebody scores. And this was a game. You asked, she said no. Okay, great. Have a nice day. You're a man. You're supposed to be taken. We are made for being rejected. That's how we are. So, what's the big deal? I don't understand why. Yeah, you understand why, because you have been denied of something, and suddenly the other one, that is the most recent girl that you were with, becomes the only reality. And you have a propensity toward that now because that was a safe place, because she didn't reject you at one time. Now you're broken up with her, but at one time, she's not in your mind as someone who rejected you because it's already time passed by. But this one is fresh. So you're seeking refuge in the bosom of the ex. Don't. Seek refuge in life. Go get busy and find another girl and ask her out. And if she says no, go find another girl and ask her out. If she says no, then move your life up and keep doing what you're doing and find another girl, ask her out. Eventually, somebody is going to be compatible. Don't worry about it. This is part of life. Arjun says, my country is still in lockdown, 1.3 billion people. Oh, India. And Sagota says, as your followers and growing and you are being bombarded with questions, you keep forgetting what the previous question or answers were. Yeah, it's true. I have no idea. What was the last one? It's like a machine, a vending machine. You throw the question, you throw the coin, you get the question. But the difference is here is just not everybody throws the coin, so that's good. It's an automatic answer machine. Jeffrey says, what is the best way to objectively watch your thoughts and not judge them? For that, you need to understand where thoughts come from. And for that, I invite you to watch among the 15 segment or 16 segment series of intrusive, transient, OCD, HOCD negative thoughts. Watch number 11. Number 11. And then don't forget to watch number 6, number 7, and then number 8. You guys want to know why you have intrusive thoughts? Watch number 8. But I want you to watch number 1, and of course the rest of them too, but then you can go 6 and 7 and then 11. 11 will tell you a lot about where thoughts coming from, what are they, and then from there you can watch your thoughts. You're already watching your thoughts. The thoughts that you actually make and instigate, which comes from your consciousness and your initiative, you're purposeful to make that thought for using it for something you want to learn, something you want to calculate, produce, design, accomplish. That's your thought. But there are all kind of other thoughts that show up that got nothing to do with you, and then you get mixed up. You don't know. Thoughts me? So it's me telling me? No, it's not. Thoughts are not you. You're not your brain. And you're not thoughts. You're not intrusive thoughts. You're not transient thoughts. You're not thoughts that pop up in your head from nowhere. And the science knows they pop up from nowhere. It's got nothing to do with you. It's not describing you. You're not your thoughts. The thoughts that you are is the thought that you initiate for purpose of accomplishing something. But thoughts that pop up has got nothing to do with you. Don't be bamboozled. Once you learn that, then you can observe what's observing your thoughts. Because right now already you have a watcher. You have created a thought that is watching your actions and your thoughts from outside of you. And you're judging your thoughts. Well, who's judging that thought? Another thought. The question is, who's judging that thought that is judging your thoughts? But we don't go that far. We only have the awareness of that there is a thought that is my thought, which is actually not a thought. That's my super consciousness. That's your gatekeeper. That's your wise advocate. Different scientists call it differently, and I call it super consciousness. But these are different names that they have been using. Wise advocate, friend, counselor. I call it watcher. Krishnamurti calls it controller. And they all, have different purposes in the conversation. But you already have that watcher that is watching your thoughts that you initiate, not transient thoughts. And that watcher, which is basically your gatekeeper, your core principles, your wise advocate, your super consciousness, it knows you and knows exactly what things you're all about. Not the thoughts that show up. That's your inner self based on your values. It's already established. His knowledge about your values and everything about you, it feels and it knows. So it's become your judge, judging your thoughts. But neither one of them are the intrusive or transient thoughts. Those are thoughts that have nothing to do with you. One is the judge and the other one is the ones that you instigate. That's your healthy living. But the judge becomes quiet when the intrusive nonsense the obscene thoughts appear, which is the time it should intervene. But because you're unaware of the process of thought and where thoughts come from and all that, you get bamboozled and you think that intrusive thoughts and transient thoughts is actually your watcher that has a message for you, which is not. Absolutely not. It's got nothing to do. It's a malfunction. There's a difference between what pops up without your awareness and the one that is constantly there to help you make a decision. You got to know the differences. Otherwise, you'll be following thoughts that appear in your head which have nothing to do with it, no business to actually suggest anything to you. And everything that they suggest is opposite of what you are. So you got to be aware of that. So we have Baltusatis says, yeah, yo, okay, yo, yeah, all right. And Vitenis says, your voice is so calm. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Says, I always listen before sleep. Okay. And he says, he's a male UK. And he says, it calms me down. All right. Thank you for that. Glad you enjoyed the channel. Arjun says, yes, India. Good night, Mehran. Thanks for your words. Take care. You're quite welcome, dear. Zadkiel says, thank you for your answer, Mehran. You're a true hero. With love. Thank you very much, dear. I will keep my chin up and continue to ask girls. Yes, become a professional, confident date asker, but not just anyway, you know, properly in proper setting. You know where that is. You know, proper age and proper setting, and ask away. No worries. Jeffrey says, excellent answer. Thanks so much, Mehran. You're quite welcome. Aya says, thank you. You're right. Mom keeps talking about bad things of dad, and he is always away. They were always in love. I can't concentrate on studying and lose trust in men. Don't. Just because your mom says so, that doesn't make your dad bad. Obviously, she's not happy about it, but you got to let them sort that out. You take a position later on when they sort it out or they don't, you have to now live by the position you took. You're going to hinder your relationship with them. They're still going to be your parents regardless of what. See that coming. So don't take position. Console your mother and console your dad. Don't put them against each other, and don't try to gain any grounds with one of them by siding with her so she'll favor you, or siding with him so he will favor. No, just calm things down. Just try to say, I'm sure every marriage has its ups and downs, Mom, and I'm sure you and Dad will sort it out. I love you both, and I want you guys to sort things out. That's all. Don't butt in too much. And all right. So looks like we have answered all the questions, and there's no more questions here, guys. So perhaps it's time for me to get my cue and end our little live stream today. And there is one, Hassan Tarvi says, hello, sir. You are an amazing person and help unknowingly when I had long 4 years breakup. Thank you once again, Hassan. You're quite welcome, Hassan. Thank you for sharing that. I'm delighted that you've enjoyed the channel, and this is what the channel is for. Don't forget, guys, you can always reach me, have a one-on-one Skype conversation with me, consultation. You can make an appointment. If you're a new client, I will add 1 hour to your 1 hour appointment. We'll have 2 hours to explore your specific situation with you. In the meantime, it's time for me to say I love you all. Thank you very much for being here and allowing me to share a thing or two with you. Please take good care of yourself. Be safe. I look forward to talk to you again. In the meantime, be good to yourself and to the others, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.